this is what you need. You need a band. If you do not have a band or can't find it, you could always use a smallish towel, like what do you call that, a hand towel, and that could probably work for the band. So get yourself set up. If you want a mat or if you have a soft carpet, whatever works for you is great. So we're going to start standing. We're going to find that posture with a slight softness in the knees. We're going to take our tail, tuck it under, and draw that belly in. And then we're going to have a little tension in the band here. So just a little bit. Feel maybe those arms pulling out into the band, like you're gently trying to stretch it a little bit. And start my favorite way, just with some breath. So we're just going to reach our arms to the ceiling with a nice big inhale, pulling into that band a little, stretching it open, reaching, trying not to arch through the back, however. And then exhale, press those arms all the way back down to the thighs. Let's do that just a couple more times, getting some oxygen to the muscles. Inhale up. And exhale. I'm even pulling my shoulder blades back a little bit, trying to open my chest. It feels like a really nice stretch. Inhale 2 more times. Bring it up. Stretch those arms back. And bring it down. On the next one, we're going to change it a little bit. So inhale up. Bring it up. You're feeling like you're stretching that band apart a little. Now, first, let's get a little taller through the band. And then we're going to take, not a huge side bend, but we're just going to bend to one side. Take it over. Let the head kind of go with gravity, so you're not in your neck. And then get a little taller to come to your center. And let's go the other side. Inhale over. My head's relaxing. And then to come forward. I'm getting taller. Let's go one more each side. Inhale, reach and bend and stretch. And come to center. Last one. Inhale, come over. And exhale, come center. Let's bring those arms all the way down. Let's just do one shoulder rotation to get out of our neck and shoulders. And we're going to change it a little bit. So give yourself just a little more slack in your band or your towel. We'll take those arms in front of us. And then let's take that left arm directly out in front of the chest. And then with the right arm, we have a little slack in the band. We're just going to keep our hips going straight, but we're going to rotate to one side, looking at the arm, but pretend I'm behind you, holding your hips like this. So it's just your body that rotates, same side, but keep those wrists straight, put a little tension in the bands here. We have some nice taut bands. So we are getting a little bit of arm work with the shoulders as well. And come to your center. Take those arms down for a second, shake the shoulders, bring them back up. All right, right arm stays right in front of the chest. You have a little slack in the band, so you can add a little bit extra rotation. And then keeping those wrists straight, let's rotate. Follow the hand with your eyes, the arm with the eyes, and bring it to center. And let's do 2 more. So one arm is long and strong. One arm is rotating. Hips do not move. Let's go one more. Last. Bring it down. And bring it around. All right. Loosen up your grip. Take a stand on your band. I love that. That's a song, right? Stand on your band. Okay. Holding the edges of the band. You're anchoring that securely so it doesn't come up and snap you. If you have a towel, this exercise, I'm not sure if it will work, so you can do it without anything at all. All right, slight downward tilt of your chin. Arms are feeling a little tension. If they're not, choke up a little bit. We want a little tension in that band. And then keeping the knees soft, we're going to scoop the belly in, and we're just going to let our upper body round down toward the floor, losing tension in the band at the farthest point. And then I just want you to hang here. Your arms are relaxed. Your head is also, you can maybe give your head a couple gentle nods. And then when you're ready with your exhale, give that belly a little extra scoop and begin to articulate to the side, one bone at a time, all the way up. And you're coming back into tension, right? Let's take those shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to do it 2 more times. Tilt the chin, scoop the belly in, round down. Find that slack in the band. Maybe your arms are all the way to the floor. Maybe they're not. Doesn't really matter. Where's your stretch? And then scoop the abs in. We're not going to pull into the back because we're really engaging the belly to support. Bring it up. Let's take the shoulders up, back, and down, using the band for a little extra resistance. Last one. Tilt the chin, roll down all the way or wherever it works for you in the stretch. Hang here, gently toss the head, yes and no, and round up, round up. Take the shoulders for one big rotation, and let's get to work. All right, we're going to use our band. Again, you can always do this band less, but what I'd like you to do is we're going to take those feet wider. So if you have a mat like we do, this is like a reference point. Maybe your heels are on the mat, but your toes are off, because I want some nice, a nice wide stance. Now, here it is. If you're feeling funky in the knees, meaning you have a knee issue or whatever, you can make this a tiny movement. If you're feeling strong, go for it. Go deep. Whatever kind of works for your body. So we have a little tension here. Obviously, when we've done the knees, we're going to lose it. So we're going to think about our tailbone going back toward the wall behind us. Slowly, we're going to pause here. We're going to tighten the butt, and we're going to come up against this. And let's do that a couple more times. Bring it down, full pause, find the balance, weight through those heels, squeeze up. Again, if you're feeling this doesn't work for your knees, my next one will be modified. All right, take it down, squeeze the butt out behind, and then bring it up, tightening the butt. The chest is lifting. This isn't one of those exercises where you end up looking at the floor. Let's do 3 more. Bring it down, full pause, squeeze up, tightening the glutes. Let's do last 2. If you want to use that breath, I would encourage you to inhale down, pause here for a moment, and then okay, last 2. Warming up the legs a little bit, feeling it in the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes. Feel the feet pushing into the floor. Last one. Bring it down. And up. All right. Take a moment here and let's bring it down into the squat position. Again, being aware of your own personal body and your knees. So bring it down into your squat. Now here's the fun part. Release your band. Hang here for a moment. Right here. So we're holding a static squat here. Let's reach our arms out to the front, shoulders out of the ears, and little pulses. Little pulses right here. I'm feeling it right in my legs, right here. Squeezing the glutes a little. Let's let them have some fun too. Let's go 4. And 2. Ski season is coming. And 1. Bring it all the way up. Give those thighs a little love if you want. We're returning to the same thing again. You can keep the band under your feet or you can kick it away if it's bugging you. All right, so same nice wide stance. We're going to involve a little bit of lower leg here. So let's take those arms and reach in front of you. Make sure my shoulders are up into my ears, and let's take the tailbone down and hold. All right, find your balance right here, nice wide, a little bit of turnout there. And then we're going to slowly lift one heel off the floor, a little more weight into that big toe, and roll it. And the other. Feel that calf getting a nice stretch, a little bit of work, and of course our quads are really working. And again, bring it out of this position if you want. You guys keep going. If I'm feeling at my knees, I might want to come up and do this from a standing position. Let's go last 2. And 1. Bring it all the way up. Adding lower leg, balance, quads, all sorts of stuff. All right, get ready. Grand finale here. So let's bring our arms once again out. Let's take a breath and let's find our squat. Now, here's our balance part of this. Again, if it doesn't work for you, maybe just do one leg. We're going to lift both heels. We're going to find the balance. Keeping the heels lifted, we're going to bring it all the way up and lower them down. Easy enough. Let's do it again. Down, lift, up, lower. 2 more. Down, lift. I'm the one who is the wobbliest in the class. All right, last one. Bring it down. And up and down. All right, shake those arms out. Let's reverse that to finish up our little squat sequence here. So reversing it means we're starting standing. We're going to lift the heels and find a little bit of balance. When you found it, we're going to slowly lower. We're going to hold it here for a second. We're going to push the heels into the floor, tighten the glutes, bring it up. Can you do 3 more? I think you can. Lift, lower, heels come down, body comes up. 2 more. Lift, lower, down, up. 1 more. Lift, whoa, lower, down, and up. Release the arms. Bring those legs together. Shake it out. Great job. All right. Before we come down to the floor, we're going to just do a little more balance work. So I'm going to encourage you to find your happy place. Make sure there's nothing sharp around you that you can fall against. But always just modify, make it a little gentler, see where you're feeling this morning. But let's go ahead and come to a nice stand with our legs about body distance apart. And then let's take the right leg. So right away, we're in a little bit of a balance challenge. And then we're going to take a big inhale with this arm. Now, you can add the leg part or leave the leg on the floor. Find what works for you. Slowly, we're going to find our height. And then we're going to start to lower our chest. And we're going to bring that leg up off the floor. We're going to reach the fingers one way. We're going to reach the toes, square off the hips, draw the belly up. And then we're going to bring it all the way down and leg comes in. All right, scary a little bit. Okay, let's take that left leg behind. Find which side is your better side. We'll do 2 on each side. Just sit. Arms come up, find that height. When you're ready, if you are, again, this can only be the upper body. If that's better for you. Bring it down. Pause here. Get longer. Feel like your back is like a Thanksgiving long table. Hold it there and bring it all the way up and step it. Definitely notice a difference for me from side to side. Let's do 1 more on each side. Whew. Inhale up. Right leg back. Find a little balance. Begin to lower and reach the arm. Reach the leg. Tighten the butt. And bring it up. Ooh, gosh. What is going on with me? I know, it's Monday. We weren't even doing anything fun last night. Okay, last one. Inhale up. Left leg. And slowly. Think balance thought. Sometimes that does help actually. And all right, arms to the ceiling. Make sure you got a little mat in front of you. We're going to do a standing roll down, leading to a little bit of a yoga move. So, spoiler alert. Draw the abs in, soften your knees, and roll. Now, when you are down here, if you can touch the mat with your hands without bending the knees, great. If you need a little bend in the knees to get those hands down on the mat, do it. Let's walk those arms out in front of us. So we're in a downward dog or Pilates height. Let's push the heels into the floor. Try to relax and breathe into tension in the neck. And let's just hang here for a second. Nice calf stretch. Feel a nice stretch maybe in your low back. Shoulders are working. And then when you are ready, slowly bend the knees, bring them all the way down to the earth. All right, you're on your hands and knees, great place to be. So we're going to just do something that I call back extensions. What other people call them, but it doesn't really matter. This is my class, so we're going to do some back extensions. All right, so square off the hips to the floor. Take a breath, soften those elbows a little bit, maybe spread those fingers so you have a nice little face. And let's take that right arm straight up, right by your ear. And this is another thing you can divide. If the arm part, this part bites you, just do the leg part. And then when you're ready, let's take that opposite leg along. A lot easier than what we were doing standing up. But here's the tricky part. We're going to cat back. We're going to draw the belly into the spine, round, and we're going to take the elbow and the knee together. We're going to pause and look at that tension, and we're going to stretch it. Let's do it again. Can you use that breath? Exhale, round and squeeze. And stretch. We'll do 1 more. and round. Really scoop the belly up. Think of that angry cat. Squeeze the elbow in the knee. Stretch it long and bring it in. Shake those wrists out if you need to release anything. Maybe the shoulders. Let's go to the other side. Move on to find that stance. Soften my elbows a little. Abs are in. Let's take that opposite arm long. If you can get it up by your ear, terrific. If you can't, you can modify, lower it a little bit. All right. Find your personal breath. Exhale. Bring that elbow and the knee together, rounding through the spine as much as you can. And stretch. And 2 more. Exhale. And 1 more. And around. And bring it up. And lower it to the floor. Let's take just a brief break by stretching our tailbone back to our heels, reaching those arms in front of us. Rest your forehead on the floor if that feels good. And to my favorite part of the workout. All right, we're going to do some planking. So I love planking because it works everything pretty much. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the clock for this first one. So I kind of get a free pass, but I'm going to get you into it and then I'm going to watch the clock. So because I'm not doing it, you guys will have to. All right, so let's start with our forearms on the floor because we really use a plank, straight arms, and let's not overdo our wrists. So forearms are down there. I'm opening my fingers and pushing my hands into the floor as well. I'm going to take my tail and tuck it. I'm going to draw my belly up, and then when I'm ready, slowly bring those legs one at a time behind me. Now, if this does not work for you and your body, here's a modification. Knees can come down and rest on the floor. But while you're in this plank, I want you to tuck your tail. I want you to draw your abs up. So you're almost making that shape of like a Japanese bridge. You know, when you go to the botanical gardens and you have that little bridge over the little stream, that's your body. So hang here. Let's go 15 more seconds. Now, I gave you credit for all my talking time. I did. And then I'm looking at the clock with no minute hand. Isn't that terrible? All right, let's go last. 5, 4, 3, 2, foiled, and 1. Gently let those knees come down. Stretch your hips back to your heels. That's so funny. My clock doesn't have a minute hand. That's bizarre. Okay. We're going to go into a little movement in our plank. We're going to do some pikes with our plank. We're going to see if you can coordinate it with your breath a little bit. You can pick whatever position you want. Do you want your forearms or are you good with coming up to straight arms? Whatever kind of works for you is great. I'm going to do straight arms. It just gives me a little more range of motion and I like it. But whatever you want to do is fine. So we're going to start like we did before in our regular plank. We're going to tuck our tail, draw the belly up, and we're going to send. All right. So once you guys have found this, we're going to use that exhale and we're going to pretend there's a cable from our tailbone to the sky. And we're going to round through the spine a little bit. We're going to draw the belly up. We're going to look to our toes. Pause here for a moment. And then slowly, we're going to bring it back to our back. Let's do that a couple more times. Are you ready? Exhale, bring it up, bring it up. Feel that great stretch, a lot of strengthening going on. And we're going to go one more time. Time the breath, draw the belly up. Pull those hips all the way up to the ceiling. Look at the tippy toes. Oh boy, find your plank, hang here for a breath. And slowly let those knees come down. Very nice, no problem. Take a moment, we're going to add to that. So what I like to do in some exercise things is I like to start basic and then add on. It gives you a chance to say, not loving that add on, I'm going to go back to just maybe a regular thing or something. So this one is my challenge for my class. All right, so we're going to start the same way, but we're going to add on and I'll lead you through it. So find what you like, straight arms, forearms. Fingers are spread open, giving you just a little bit more stability. Abs are up, hips are tucked, send them up. All right, now here's the trick. We're gonna pike all the way up. We're gonna draw the belly in. We're gonna take our left hand, reach it slowly toward our right leg, maybe the knee. We're going to take it down and we're going to find our plank. Let's try it again. Bring it up into your pike. Find the stability. Right hand goes to, woo, left knee really quick. Sometimes. And bring it down. Are you slippery?
The hand, not there.
Oh, and yeah, you know what? If it's too slippery to feel comfortable, don't do it. And reach, woo, and down. Let's do it one more time. And reach, and down, and down. Hang here for a moment. Shoulders out of your ears. Tuck the tail. Draw the belly in. Lower the knees. That was a lot of work. I want the camera to go on you guys. I'm just getting back from vacation. What the heck? Yeah. Put the camera on. Phyllis and Janet over here. All right. Take a moment. Okay. So we're adding on just a little bit, a different kind of plank. So this is what I call the hover. Somebody was telling me their physical therapist calls it the monster. Not totally sure why, but we're going to find an all four. Now, I'm going to encourage you to make this movement super small. Everybody likes to go big on things for some reason, but we're going to go small. So we're going to tuck the tail and scoop my belly up a little bit, and my toes are tucked under as well. And we're just going to find a little distance between your knees and the mat. So it just looks like that. Lift, hold, eyes look slightly ahead of your hands in the middle there, and you're just holding it there. Soften those elbows, draw the belly up, tuck the tail. No use me looking at the clock because it doesn't help. Otherwise I would be. Let's go 5, 4. Why is this the monster? I don't know. 3, 2, and lower the knees. Shake out those wrists. All right. Adding on to this particular one. And again, if the wrists are failing on you, you can do this from forearms, whatever kind of works. You're only as strong as your weakest part. So adding on to this with a little bit of movement. I hope this isn't my rear end. Okay, it's perfect. Your body's perfect. All right, so we're starting the same way. We're going to tuck the tail, abs up. We're going to lift the knees just a little, and we're going to go for a couple gentle taps. So we're going to lower the knees to touch the floor, and lift, and lower, and lift. Let's go 4 more. And 4, lift. Feels like you're maintaining the scoop through the abs. And 3, and 2. Now on this last one, hold it up there, and we're gonna click our knees together gently. In and out. 4 more. 4, and 3, 2. Last one. Yes. Find the floor with your knees. Find in all 4 positions. Let's go for a stretch. Good job. That was a little bit of planking for sure. All right. So we're on our hands and knees. This is called thread the needle. Let's take that right arm and stretch it through as far as we can. Maybe grip the floor if that helps. And then some people like to just kind of lay down on that arm. Whatever feels good. Stretching that middle back, upper back, maybe other part faces as well. After the plank, yeah, the shoulder. Feels good. Whew. And come back to center. All right, let's reverse it. Let's take the other arm, walk it through as far as you can. Pull the shoulder away, gently set that head down if that feels good. Feels really like a big stretch to me, and just relax. Ooh, boy. And come center. And let's go ahead and lower our body all the way to the floor in a prone position. We're going to do a little bit of tummy work here. If it doesn't sit well with you, a couple things you can do. You can pad out your hips a little bit with a towel, or you could do this from an all 4 position like we were doing our back. So just kind of make it work, see how it feels. But let's have our legs a little bit apart, maybe about the width of your body. We're going to take our hips and we're going to gently tip them into the floor. So I'm creating a little bit of space between my belly and the floor, trying to maintain that. And think about like a cute little ladybug thing right under your belly button. So you're drawing your abs up and away from squishing that bug. I don't know if we've had any ladybugs make it out alive yet, but we're working on it. So let's take our arms out to what we call goal pose. So they're bent, downward tilt of the chin, looking down at your mat. You can count the little squares or diamonds or whatever. Let's start small. And again, if this doesn't feel good to your body, modify. All right, on an exhale, we're just gonna lift that chest from the floor. We're gonna still look down and we're gonna hold it. And then we're gonna inhale low. Small movement for most of us. If you're a yoga girl and you're coming up into a full cobra, good for you if it works, but that's not me. All right. And let's go 2 more. Exhale, lift. And again, if you're in your low back and it's not feeling good, be tiny or stick it. 1 more. Exhale, lift. Hips pushing into the floor. Legs stay down for now. And adding on just a little bit here. So arms are in goal pose. Again, reconfigure here. Tilt the hips into the floor, draw the belly up. We're gonna lift. Now holding this lift, we're gonna shoot our arms out like we're Superman or Superwoman. And then we're gonna sweep them in a circle back to our hips, maybe get a little higher. And then we're gonna find goal pose and lower it all down. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale, lift. Shoot those arms out without losing your lift. As those arms circle back, maybe a little bit higher, maybe not. Find the goal post. Lower it down. I'm gonna watch you guys on this last one. Bring it up. Shoot it out. Circle it around. Christine, watch your fingers, don't hit them on the wood. And find your goal post and lower it in. Yeah, and that's the thing too for people working out at home. Make sure you're not gonna kick into a table or something. Some of us are a little compromised for space. All right, let's add a little more lower back and glutes to this, and then we will move on. Well, you've all been waiting for a little hour. So we're gonna start this time in a Superman position. So reach those arms out. Of course, you can modify by keeping them bent if that's what works for you. All right. On an exhale, we're going to lift the chest and the arms from the floor. And then we're going to start to gently squeeze one arm high and the opposite leg, and then the other. So it's like a swim, but we're not swimming from sharks. We're squeezing on the lift, working the upper, middle, lower back, glutes, and hamstring. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Looking at the floor so your neck isn't bothered. Let's go 2 more. 1 more. Who likes these? Nobody. And bring them down. Take a moment. But they're good. They work our back body. But for some reason, they're just no fun, are they? Just even like them. All right, let's do 1 more set and then we'll flip our bodies over. All right. Arms reach out, looking down at the floor. When you are ready, lift the upper body and then begin to very nice squeezy control. You don't hold your breath. Let's go last 4, 4, and 3, and 2, 1, and 1. Beautiful. All right, let's flip over and draw our knees into our chest for a little stretch. All right. Have your band or your towel nearby, because we're going to use it shortly. But let's just start by laying on our back, gently pulling those legs in the chest. Maybe do a couple rocks side to side, or even a couple circles with those knees. That kind of feels good to release the back. And just take a breath. We'll just get ready to do some abdominal work while you're doing this. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about abs. So 2 big areas that I'd like you to be aware of are necks and backs when you're doing your abs. So if your neck is starting to feel funky, number 1, put it back down on the floor if it's lifted. Maybe you need a break. Try that. Number 2, if your low back is starting to get involved, if we lower our legs, let's say through the floor, maybe yours will just lower a little. Maybe they'll stay bent. Both of those are gentler, or maybe it's time for you to just do a little stretching. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our band in our hand. I always feel like cat in the hat when I'm doing all this writing. It's kind of fun. All right, so you have your band and you have a little tension in it, kind of like we had at the very beginning of class. Excuse me, I think a lot of talking. All right, so find tabletop with the legs. All right, here it goes. You got a little tension, your arms are to the ceiling, tension in the bands, I mean, and then we're gonna just lengthen our legs toward the ceiling. And we're gonna place our band right against our legs, wherever it hits. For me, it's below my knees. And then keeping the head down, let's start in a modified way. Let's take that right leg and lower it toward the floor, but keep the band against the left leg. And then let's bring it back and push it into the band. And let's switch. So I'm going big on this, but on my next one, I'm going to show you maybe how you want to modify. Maybe it's a little. And again, let's do 2 more. And then we'll add on. Lower, really push it into the band on the way up. You're stretching the band apart with your arms and shoulders. And pause here. Now, here's the clincher. Again, make sure it works for you. On an exhale, we're going to round up and we're going to reach the band higher up on our leg. Eyes are going to look at that space between the lower legs, and then you're going to take one leg down and you're going to bring it up and push it into the band. If you're getting necky on me, push, put the head and down. Go 4 more. I like to use an inhale to lower, exhale up, but whatever breath you use, just breathe. And we're using the shoulders a little. We're definitely using the abs. Let's go 2 more. Push, 1 more. And 1. All right, take a moment, lower the head. Don't lose the band, but just pull your knees into your chest. You guys doing okay? All right. No answer means probably not, but that's okay. It was a rhetorical question. I know, right? Okay. All right. Slight change to this exercise. So let's take our arms, back up to the ceiling. Let's extend the leg. Let's press the band into the legs. Head can stay down for now. Let's take that right leg down and we'll give it a little pulse at the bottom. 1, 2. Then we'll press it back up. And then the left. 1, 2. And up. Let's do 2 more. Down. 2. Up. 1 more. Down. 2. Up. All right, you know what's coming. Again, can happen or you can stay right here. Exhale, round up. Reach the band toward your ankle. Right leg lowers and pulses for 4. You got it. And up. And 3. And pulse. And 2. Woo-hoo. I know, I didn't. I was confusing. I know. And 1. If you're a 4 pulser, whatever, you get a gold star. Hold it here, reach a little higher with that band, and roll it all the way down. When I said it, I'm like, huh. All right, pull those knees into your chest. Rock out that back just a little bit. All right, take a moment here, and we are moving on. Of course we are. You know how to do it single-legged, but can you do it double-legged, right? Okay, arms go to the ceiling. And again, this is going to be something you're really going to think about your back on. You're going to lengthen the legs, band presses into the calves. However, we want to keep the band here because both legs are going to lower toward the floor. Squeeze, pause, make sure you're on your back. Bring them back into the band with a press. And 2, head is down. Use the breath, last 2, you got it, inhale down. Whew. Exhale, 1 more. And then we know what's coming. If you want to, again, being aware of your neck, pause here. Roll forward, look at the space between the lower legs, keeping the neck long. Lower the legs. And up, you can go back to single legs if you need to. And 3. Ooh. 2 more. Let's go 1 more. Pull into the band a little. We're using those shoulders. 1 more. And find your tabletop. Take your band, set it aside. Grab your left thigh by wrapping your hands around it. Slowly stretch your right leg. Right leg goes long. Take a nice stretch. This is a really nice, gentle low back stretch if you ever need one. Nothing torquing, nothing really arching or extending to any degree. That's kind of nice. All right, take a breath. And then gently put that foot on the floor. Pull your opposite leg in to that chest. Stretch your opposite leg long. And take a breath. Okay. All right, we're going to address the abs one more time. Well, I mean, really, I guess technically in Pilates, you probably use your abs a little bit the entire exercise, the entire class. But we're going to use our obliques a little, which are these muscles to the sides of the abs, by doing a little bit of rotation. So again, modify if you need to make it little, or you can go big, whatever kind of works. But we're going to lay here with our arms long next to us, and we're going to take our legs into. Now, what I'd like you to do is I want you to pretend that you have $100,000 between those thighs and you're going to squeeze them together. If you drop it, that money is not yours any longer. Shoulders are going to stay down. On an inhale, you can pick whatever side you want, whatever works, maybe coordinate it with your neighbors if you're going to hit them. And let's just take an inhale and we're going to take the knees to one side. We're not going to let that opposite shoulder leave the floor. We're going to pause. We're going to scoop the belly into the floor, find center with the knees, and let's do the opposite way. Inhale over, pause, exhale, squeeze those thighs a little closer together as you come back. Let's do a few more, and then we'll, of course, give you an opportunity to take it up a notch if you choose. And let's go last 3. Inhale over. Pause here. Feel the gravity pulling the knees. You're resisting it using those obliques. Last 2. Inhale over. Exhale to center. Shouldn't have had that English lesson with almond butter. And last one. Bring it to center. Adding on if you want to. Extend the legs long to the ceiling. So anytime we have this long lever, it's going to be a little more challenging. Squeeze those thighs together. Make sure the legs are going up in a perpendicular way. They're not drifting away from you. Inhale over. Exhale, center. Keep it going. I'm just observing my little ladies over here in my class. Looks great. Excellent. Let's go last 4, or if that makes you uneven, go in the next. And let's go 3. Ooh, last 2. Oh, 1 more. And center. And pull those knees to the chest. Maybe some gentle rocks into that low back if it feels good. And then place your feet on the floor. All right, we're going to segue into some bridging work, but we're going to start in a way that's going to release your back a little bit from those last exercises. My favorite is called the tilts because they're just nice and gentle and they're effective. So right now your feet are about body distance apart. Your hips are on the floor. Think about a cereal bowl. Yes, good morning, right there on your pelvis. So on an exhale, you're going to imprint your back. You're going to spill all that cereal towards your chin. And then on an inhale, we're going to spill the cereal between your legs into the floor. So let's do a few of those. And sometimes that kind of sure helps a little bit. If it doesn't, just don't do it. All right, let's do 2 more. Tilt those hips towards you. And just feel like you're kind of imprinting the back, and then you're creating a little space back here. Let's do 1 more. Kind of feels good for me after that ab work. Now, here it is. Next time those hips tilt towards you, feel the back imprint for a moment. Then push the arms into the floor, tighten the butt, begin to roll the hips up to the ceiling. Remember, we're not going into the big arch. We're keeping those abdominals pulled toward the spine. You're pausing here. And then we're gonna lay our spine down like a string of pearls. Use that scoop, come down upper back, middle back. If you get crampy, take a break. A lot of times that happens to me. And then lower, and then tilt your pelvis like you're spilling cereal through your legs. Let's do a couple more of those just to get the articulation in the spine. Feel the hamstrings pushing up to the ceiling, abs sinking toward the floor, arms pushing to the floor. That is not for us, by the way. And roll it down one bone at a time. That feels really good. Let's go 2 more. Exhale, roll it up, roll it up. Feel the hamstrings push up. Feel the belly sink down. My arms are strong. And really think about those arms for a moment, because we're going to change it up after this next one. It's going to feel a little different. Exhale, tilt, roll, press. Ooh, boy. And bring it down. Feel the heels pull it toward your sit bones a little, just engaging the hamstrings a little more if you need it. All right, ready for a little challenge? Ready or not? Let's bring those legs close together so they can actually even be touching, feet on the floor. Now here it is. We're taking out some stability in our bridge. Again, if it doesn't feel right, modify, but let's take our arms to the ceiling. Shoulders are still plugged back to the floor, but the fingertips are reaching up. And then same idea. Let's tilt the pelvis. Let's squeeze and lift. Pause at the top and roll it down. You squeezing those thighs together. I kind of felt my right hamstring start to say, I hate this exercise. And so I'm going to give it just a little love before I do my next one. All right, let's go for it. Tilt the pelvis, roll the hips up, tighten the glutes right here. Squeeze those thighs together and roll it. Little bit different without those arms giving you that support. So we're using a little bit more core, which is our whole objective. Let's go last 2. Tilt and roll. Squeeze at the top, tightening the glutes, reaching the fingers for the sky, inner thighs squeezing, hamstrings pushing high, and bring it down. We'll go one more, last one. And then we're going to change it. So bring it up and stay up. Let's take those arms back to the floor, but the hips are still high. Now we're going to take that right leg, and again, modify if you need to, extend it long. Now we're going to take the leg to the ceiling, reaching the toes high, and we're going to roll all the way down to the floor. And place the leg back where it started, which is right next to the other one. Let's do that same thing again. Let's go ahead and bridge up. Let's extend that left leg long next to the other one. Let's use a little abdominals and hip flexor to bring that leg to the ceiling. Let's roll through the spine as that leg is lifting to the sky. And we'll come down. Let's do 2 more. Take an exhale. Roll the hips up. Reach that leg long away from you. Really have to use a lot of stability in the hip. Raise it to the sky. Roll it to the floor. And down. One more. Last one. Exhale. Scoop up. Roll into the stretch the leg. Find the stability in the hip. Straight leg raised to the ceiling. And roll it to the floor. Very nice. Pull your knees into your chest and rock up that way. All right. Moving on. Let's flip our bodies to the side. We're just going to do a little side lying legs, because I feel like this is, if anybody's ever had like sciatica, this is kind of the magic right here. So nothing too crazy. If you have a band and you're, what is that when you want to inflict, I think it's a masochist. If you're masochistic and you want to inflict more pain on your body, you could always take it and tie it around your thighs. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. All right, which isn't good, but believe I've been away for a month, so you know what? I don't want to die tomorrow morning. So we're going to lay on our side. Knees are stacked. Optional for you and your body and your head and neck. If you want to come down like this, if your head and neck needs a little bit of a break, you can certainly do that. So Legs are slightly forward, like I can look down and see my knees are forward. I'm lifting a little through those obliques. Why not, right? This is Pilates. And then we're just going to start with some clamshells. So keep those heels together, but open as far into it as you can. Squeeze those thighs together like you have a little rubber ball between your thighs. And try not to do the old rock back so you can get this kind of thing going. You want to keep that weight forward, almost like your back's against the wall. We all had our back against the wall. Let's go. 4 more. And really open. Try to press out into that hip. I swear these can really help if you're having any kind of like somatic issues, that they really can work. 1 more. Don't forget your abs are in. You're lifted a little bit. Now we're going to take that entire top leg and we're going to lift it about hip height. We're going to relax those feet and toes and we're going to pull the knee toward us. And we're going to circle. And just feel you're circling through the hip. Try not to translate any tension into the foot. You don't have to. And keep it here. Weight is forward. Getting a little rotation. Let's just reverse that movement. Movement in the hips. Some of you have hips, tight hips like I do. This is really nice. Let's go a couple more. Not too crazy. And again, if you had a band, it definitely makes it harder. You want to go there. Let's go 2 more. And lay the leg down, straighten the legs out. Now, we call this, at least when I took Pilates training, a little bit of a banana shape. So your legs aren't totally straight from you. They're slightly forward. They're together. We're going to come into a little bit of internal rotation. So I want your top leg toes to slightly look down at that bottom. And we're just going to lift. And I can't go that high because I've internally rotated and lower. And lift. Find the length in the leg. Find a little glute work. Try to internally rotate the hip. Feel free to take that head down if you're getting necky on me. Let's go 4 more. 4. Lengthening through that leg, almost like that leg is longer than the long leg. Yes. 2 more. And 2. 1 more. And take a breath. Maybe give it a little love. And let's swing it on over to the other side. I have a little time for our Pilates push-ups, the highlight of the class. So we're going to just get right through this. So knees are bent, lifted body. Try to kind of lift it up from the floor with those lower ribs, just to give your obliques a little work. And we'll start with and open. And of course, every range of motion is kind of dictated by your body and what you can do. You know, when maybe one side is tighter than the other. Let's go past. And 2. Try to wiggle the toes a little if you're translating a little stress into the feet. I usually do that. And 1. And then take that top leg, hip height. Pull the knee towards you like you're trying to look at something on your kneecap. And then circle around and round. Wiggle that the toes so you're not tensing up through the foot. And just feel like you're just getting a little movement right in the hip, lifting through the under ribs. Don't forget about them. And reverse. And keep it going. Staying with me for 3. And 2. Lower the leg. Find your banana. All right, so you're lifted or not, whatever the upper body feels good doing. Abs are, of course, pulled in. Upper leg, let's have those toes check out the bottom toes. Limits your range of motion, yes, but works a little more glute right there. A little more side thigh, right? And don't let those big toes lose sight of the bottom foot. Keep them looking. Keep that internal rotation for 4. And 3. Good, nice. And 2. Nice, Christine. Good, Patty. Let's go 1 more. And 1. And down. Give the hip a little rub. Let's get ready for 100 push-ups. Just kidding. Kind of. So we're going to do push-ups in a Pilates kind of way. So I'm doing them on my knees. If you want to go military, you can. But Pilates push-ups for me are just way too hard to do with my knees like this. So Try it if you want. You can always change your mind. We're going to do it in a very controlled way. So we're going to take our hands about as wide as your mat, depending, I guess, what kind of mat you have, but they're wider than your body. We're going to take our knees behind so our body's in kind of a modified plank. I'm drawing my belly up and tucking my tail. And this is what it looks like. To a count of 4, we're going to slowly bring our chest to hover above the floor. If you want to bring your chest to rest on the floor, you certainly can. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hang here. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to press up 9, 10. We got 10. That's easy enough. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang here. 5, 6, 7, 8. And power move 9 and 20. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Power move 30. Wow. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 40. Next one I'm going to do is modify it. You can keep doing them how you're doing it. Let's do it again. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang here. 5, 6, 7, 8. And out for 50. Much better. I like that one. But do it if you have to. All right, let's do it again. Last 5, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Always good when I do it with you because I count super fast. Last 4. Hang out. Power up. 3, 1, 2, 4. Hang out. 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo. Can we do 2 more? Find your inner strength. Down. 2, 3, 4. Hang. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, last one. Down. 2, 3, 4. And power it up. Wow. Take your child's pose. Shoot, those do not get easier. They do not, unless you do them. Right? What?
We didn't learn those in doggy.
Yeah, some version of it I did, but yeah, those are nice because they just, you need to get our arms a little bit more in that body. So, all right, let's come to a kneeling position. Take out the shoulders a little bit. So, when you learn to surf, you always kind of start by finding if you're goofy foot or regular foot. And the way that you usually do it is like what naturally happens when I say let's forward. So I'm taking my right leg. So, all right, let's cross our arms on our chest, engage our belly, weight that front leg, and easy enough for you to stand. All right, so last couple minutes of our class. I'm just peeking at our clock because this is a timed exercise. We're going to do something that I have called the Madonna arms for years. It's a weightless exercise. However, you can use weights, but we're not using them in our class. If you have soup cans, you can always use those, but I honestly don't think you'll need them. If you get tight in your shoulders and neck, it's time for a break. And if you have a mirror, you can look at yourself and make sure you're not doing this, because that's going to be problematic later. So legs are about body distance apart. This is like flown by for me. Anybody else have any input? All right, stop. No comment. All right. Arms out long next. All right. So let's start by just getting a little movement in those shoulders by circling forward. Maybe like a medium-sized circle. Sometimes when you're doing this, like at least for me, I can feel a little snap crackle popping in there, but as long as it doesn't hurt, I'm just working on through it. Take in a breath. Kind of feels good right now. And then come to a stop. Let's reverse it. Go the opposite direction. Shoulders. Feel like those shoulder blades are kind of pulling back behind you. I'm trying to resist this by keeping my shoulders out of the ears. And let's go 3 more. I'm still pulling my abdominals in and trying to stand up nice and tall. And 2. Sort of roll. All right. Arms are long here. Now I want you to pretend that there's a little rubber ball under that arm. And press. Yeah, see? Get weights. How fun would that be? All right. Let's go 4 more. Press. Get your head into a little bit. And 2. So if you're on vacation, you don't have weights, you can still work those arms, right? Flip those arms. You could do the Pilates push-ups. Put 100 pounds on right? And press up. You could do these. Rock it. Last. And 3. It's not a big movement. And 2. And 1. Pause here. Palms face the front. And press like squeezing one of those big Bosu balls between your arms. Or giving a big person a big hug. And or like Jalen, she's moving. So this is a very useful exercise. When you move, you'll be able to do it. Let's go. Lastly, and here's this is the one I just do not like, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to flip the thumbs to the floor and push back. Try to maintain a little openness with those shoulder blades so you're not pinching them together. Tough stuff. Let's go. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Find your goal post. Set those upper arms on a coffee table or on a table. Press the arms forward, using a little bit of rotation, a little rotator cuff. And down. Up. Holy Toledo. If you're in your neck, shake it out. Don't risk having a pain in the neck from this. You'll get it from many other places probably later today. Let's go 3 more.
There's no way.
And 2. I know. Give yourself a break. Nobody else will. And then press those arms down, arms in front. Wax your core. Really use the entire shoulder girdle to do this. Keep it going. I'm peeking at the clock. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, right?
Right?
And yes, and reverse.
I don't want to
do
blow
it.
by your hair nor iron.
First, I know you're like,
Okay.
stay. And take a breath right here. Shoot those arms to the ceiling. And let's do just a few. What is it? Half jabs. We're just going to bring our arms down to the side. And bring. Let's do 1 more. And we're going to turn it right into a stretch. You guys did really well today. That was fun. Bring those arms back to the sky. Let's take that right arm and leave it here for a moment. I'll turn around. And then you're going to bend it like it's trying to reach down the center of your back. The left hand can gently assist. Don't pull yourself too hard into the stretch. Let's just hang here. Let your head kind of rest in the crook of your arm. Nice little release for the shoulder after that. Release those arms. Let's take another inhale to the other side. Bend that left arm like the fingers are trying to reach down. This is also good if you're getting dressed and nobody's there to get that last inch of the zipper. Rest your head with your arm. Yes, go out, unzip. Can you remember to ask somebody? Good. Whew. And release the arms. All right, we're going to do 1 neck release and then we're almost done. So let's just go ahead and cross our fingers right behind the head. And this is isometric, meaning there's no movement. So what I'd like you to do is push your head back in your hands, push your hands into the back of your head, and hold that tension for, let's go 3 breaths. So we're really feeling a lot of tension up here. And we're breathing, which is always something you want to think about when you're doing anything isometric. And 1 more inhale. And it's almost like magic when you release that. You feel that loosening the tension. And then let's finish by just inhaling all the way up. Good positive energy for the day. It's Monday. You guys are rock stars for being here. And then turn those hands to the sides of the room. Pull the shoulder blades back a little bit, opening the chest. And press those arms. Oh, yeah. Yay! Good job, you guys. All right. Thank you out there.